Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the Gasland documentary over the past few days. That was always one of my favorite documentaries that we watched in college. It really spoke to me, all those people, just telling their stories and the injustices that they had to endure. It just it was kind of rough, watching it for the first time, but a very important message I think was sent by that documentary, and it was used widely in states like New York and Pennsylvania to try to get some support in rallying behind these, citizens and trying to fix the problems with their water and their health. So, we're going to build off of that documentary by creating some timelines over the next 2 days. So, your project is going to be create a timeline that shows an overall story. So, really get to the heart of what has hydraulic fracturing looked like in states like New York and Pennsylvania since the first lease was assigned for land to be available for hydraulic fracturing to present day. These two states, New York and Pennsylvania, were mentioned a lot in the documentary, and their outcomes or their paths that they've chosen to take with hydraulic fracturing are much different. So that's why I'd like us to do two different timelines to kind of compare between the two different states. Same, you know, products are being used. So they're both using that Marcellus shale. They're both trying to tap into that and get the natural gas from that same area, but two totally different outcomes. So you're going to start with New York, and on your timeline, you should start with the very first date that a landowner signed a lease for an energy company to come in and frack there. So I've listed that below here. New York landowner signed lease with XTO Energy June 2008. That'll be the first data point for your New York timeline. And then I'd like you to have at least six additional points on that timeline. And I put some ideas for those points that you could put. So using an opinion poll from residents, and if you can find an article on how residents are feeling, if there was a poll that was taken about hydraulic fracturing, any kind of legislation that was drafted or signed, like, for example, if they were to do an environmental impact statement, or they made a amendment so that hydraulic fracturing was not included in a certain environmental regulation, any kind of deals that gas companies made with owners, like big purchases of land, things like that. Lawsuits filed by citizens or companies, those sorts of things would all be really good things to add in your timeline. But please feel free to include anything else that you think is important in showing, again, that timeline of events. So the website that we're going to use is linked here. And when you click there, comes to here, and then you want to start your timeline from scratch. So if you click on that button, it should pop up with your task or a milestone that you can put in right there. So our first one was that in New York, right, landowners leased to, I forget, it was XTO Energy in New York. So I don't want this to be a task because it's going to ask me for different start and end dates. This is a milestone. So if I click here, I'm going to make it a milestone. I can choose whatever shape I want, and that'll automatically make the start and the end date the same. So I don't have an exact date, but I'll put June 1st, just because, 2008. Okay, and then another task might be the release date of Gasland, and that is required for both timelines to show up, but it's not part of the 6 milestones. So you'll want to do, I guess you should have essentially 7 total at least. So Gasland, the documentary, was released on September 15th. Oops. So 9/15, and that was in 2010. 2010. And I have my second milestone. So if you want to see what that looks like, click on timeline, and here's your beautiful timeline. So we have the beginning of when we first signed land over to energy companies so that they could drill for natural gas, and then the release date of the documentary. Now, obviously, your timeline should end not with the release date, but with 2020. Where is New York State at in terms of hydraulic fracturing? Are they allowing it? Are they considering it? Is it just not a thing anymore? Where are they getting their energy from now? That type of thing. What is the state of affairs with natural gas right now? And to download this, you're going to go over here, right, when you're all finished, hit the download button, and you want to download it as an image. And then you can go ahead and upload it into the bottom of this document. So just put it right here, and then you'll put the Pennsylvania timeline below that. All right, so again, you pick and choose what type of milestones you want to use, but really make it a comprehensive story that really tells us what is happening or what has happened in terms of these states and natural gas fracking. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great day.